are the progress which have been made? And how do we continue with that progress? One is, I need to defend Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, not because he is my Prime Minister or because he's the chairman of my party. Because the first time when I met up with him, even before the formation of Bersatu, even before I joined frontline politics, it was at Petronas Twin Towers, where he had a dialogue with a few student leaders. He was already vocal against the Najib administration. At that point in time, I was a big fan of Datuk Sri Najib. Itu zaman sebelum ini. Why? There was a time where I thought Najib was the reformist. He amended our coup. Even not perfectly, but he amended it. He ran the transformation program, integrity plan. On paper, it was all really nice. He ran many reform agenda, took down IFA. So in a way, at that point in time, he positioned himself as a reformist. Or he don't call reform, called transformist or something. Transformasi over reformasi. Yeah. So I met up to Dr. Mahathir. The first time I met him was with great skepticism. First I said, why, if you're really sincere, why don't you just leave UMNO and set up a new party? Because you know for a fact that when Najib did all that he did, and UMNO still solidly supports him, it means that it's rotten to the core. At that point in time, he said it could still be saved. And in the end, it's just about the leader. And when one by one of his position got stripped away, privileges got stripped away, he still maintained the battle. Even while one by one pollster came to see him and said that he's going to lose, we are going to lose the election, he still steered on. Even when we went through so many struggles prior to election, from funding problems to inter-party issues, and he knew that unlike others, he doesn't have that long time span. But yet he still maintained. And until the end, I distinctly remember him saying that even if it means him losing and him being the only one left standing, he will fight the fight. It doesn't matter about people leaving him. It doesn't matter about what happens to his family. He will continue the good fight. And can you just imagine if what all the pollsters said were true and he lost, we had lost the election, who do you think will be the first one to be thrown into jail? Who do you think the family will be the first one to be crucified? But he powered through. But don't just look at what happened prior to election. Look at what happened after. As soon as election is over, we committed to ensure that no Prime Minister will last for more than 2 terms, and we look forward to putting that in the Constitution. We ensured that we're no longer going to have a firm grip over the media, like our predecessors. We ensured that the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission no longer reports to the Prime Minister's office, but now reports to the Parliament independently. We ensured that SPR becomes free and fair. I mean, man, where is he? Oh, he's out. I mean, he appealed on behalf of BN in rundown. Even if you ask me, there's a clear-cut case. And now you see many well-respected leaders being taken into SPR to move SPR with the reforms which it has. That's just some of the reforms which have put forward. There are many more. From reducing voting age to automatic voter registration, taking down Sedition Act, and many others. But like our criticism to our predecessor, we can't just steamroll the reforms. Are you saying that we go in one term, when you enter parliamentary sitting, which lasts about a month or a month and a half, we're just going to steamroll all the reforms, the debate will last for half a day, even though it's as big as an issue like Anti-Fake News or Sedition Act, and bam, we'll get the change. No. You need to have fair debate, it takes time. There are some barriers like anti-fake news repeal, which will get pushed back from Senate, which requires for us to reconsider, amend, and build more ties to move forward. At the same time, you must prioritize on some reforms now to ensure that one or two mistakes will not override all the good things which government has done till the end, that we can't move forward because the good reform agenda gets left behind or is not seen to be done. So I believe on that part, change will come. Political corruption and cronyism is a big issue. What are we doing to address that? Previously, if we mentioned about GLC becoming the bastions of political corruption, today the tendering process is done in a more open and transparent fashion. The Prime Minister no longer holds control over the Minister of Finance. Heck, I can tell you, Cabinet at times they disagree, and disagree strongly, but yet in the end, we work really well with one another, and there's a very strong check and balance there. The Prime Minister can no longer dictate what he wants. GLCs ensure that contracting standards are done more fairly and transparently. Even within my ministry, as soon as I got in, I was briefed by MACC that we were the 8th ministry from the bottom when it comes to corruption standards or perception. Then we institute a 5-point plan. All contracting standards must be done through open tender. We must do a full corruption mitigation report, CMR. 3, not just I have to declare my assets, as I was one of the first ministers to do so, but on top of that, my office will have to declare their assets. At the same time, before this, we have an internal integrity officer. I informed MACC that there must be an embedded MACC officer who doesn't report to me, but reports straight to MACC if there's any abuse or corruption in the ministry. This is from my ministry. But from to them leading the National Anti-Corruption Plan, there are many plan reforms which we like to move forward. Some which have been done and already executed. And the smallest of things, of policies on gifts, which mind you complicates my life in so many different ways. Even when I go to sporting events, I didn't know like a sports jersey can cost more than 500 ringgit. I think among all ministers who declare gifts, I declare almost everything because I don't know how much it costs. But to the biggest of things of ensuring that contracting standards are done fairly, that there is a separation among the civil service who sits on tender boards with ministry staff, minister's office. While all of this has been done, is it enough? No. Should there be criticism? 100%. Should there still be ongoing pressure? Definitely. But have we not progressed? I think we definitely have. So I only wanted to speak for 10 minutes. So this is like answering things as well. I want to end it by saying this. I speak here not from a position as a minister, but as a youth member. As a young person who really wants to see the Malaysian political scene cleaned up, to ensure that wealth can be distributed equitably and fairly. I want to ensure that Pakatan Harapan maintains its centrist ground. I want to ensure that in the end, the young people of Malaysia and the leadership which they provide will be integrated in every single decision-making process. But most importantly, I want to see the youth of Malaysia becoming allergic to corruption and abuse of power. But for all of that to happen, we need civil society to continue to be vocal, to continue to collaborate and cooperate with the government, to find ways forward while acknowledging some of the difficult realities which we are to face. But I have great faith that while it is difficult today, we will be able to overcome this. I recall how Pakatan Rakyat in 2008 was lambasted left, right and centre every single day when they took over Selangor. Every single day. It's like the government will fall at any point in time. Much worse than what we are facing today. They were not able to deliver directly during the first or even the second year. But during the final 2 years, a lot of the commitments which they made were able to be fulfilled when they stabilized the economy of the state economy, reforms like the Freedom of Information Act and contracting standards, separation between the civil service and the MP's office done, and you see true changes take place, and that's when the people rallied behind the new reform government. I want to ensure that the same story applies to the federal government, and for us to build strong democratic traditions and institutions so that even when leaders change at the top, and it is bound to happen, that is the beauty of a democracy. Even if 10, 15 years down the road, we have a president of PAS becoming the Prime Minister, the president of UMNO becoming the Prime Minister, or even an independent becoming the Prime Minister, our democratic institutions, our democratic traditions are solid enough that abuse of power and corruption will never be tolerated, because the new Malaysian DNA will be allergic to abuse of power and corruption regardless of who leads our beloved Malaysia. Thank you very much.